Welcome back to the channel. Today on this brisk 3-degree day, we're going to be doing a little bit more work on the Miata. If you're just starting out drifting or any motorsports in general and your car has stock power, the best thing you can do for yourself is get as much unnecessary weight off of the car as you can. So I have a hard top with this Miata and the soft top is underneath. Most of the time at the track, I'm not using the top. The top is down and the hard top is off of the car. Unless it's raining, I throw the hard top back on, which in turn basically makes the soft top void. You don't need it, right? Plus, my back window in the soft top is plastic. It is brittle, old, and it is torn. It is basically useless to me. So what we're gonna do today is actually pull the soft top out of the car and get a weight on that, just to show you guys how much a soft top actually weighs in your Miata. Any bit of weight you can take off that's not being used only benefits you. We're gonna take the hard top off, set it off to the side, and I'll give you guys a quick rundown on how to pull your soft top out. We're also gonna take out the visors in the car. They're basically not usable. You flip them down and it doesn't even block any of the sunlight. Most of the time when you have your soft top down, the visors aren't being used, they're just sitting there cooking, and mine are so sun faded, they're just nasty looking. We're gonna pull them out, it'll make it look a little bit better, and it's a little bit of extra weight off the car. Maybe 1-2 pounds. It's not very much, I know, but it's not needed. I don't need it in there. We're gonna pull it out. All right, like I was saying, my Miata has a plastic rear window and it's tore out right here. It's all brittle. It's like almost 25 years old. So if you're thinking 25 years old, it doesn't seem like it's that old, but for a piece of plastic like that, that's old. That's not lasting very well. You can unzip this. Typically, if I do put the top up and I'm drifting with it, I leave the window out so that air can come through and exit. Otherwise it creates a pocket behind your head and it's just loud and annoying. So it flows through there better, you get more airflow, it keeps you cool, especially on those hot days. But like I said, we're gonna pull this out. The rest of the top is in really good condition because most of the time I just have it stored, it's down. And in the garage, like I just had it before, I had the hard top on it, keeping it protected. I don't think it's ever really been parked outside in the sun with just the top up, unless I take it to work or something and I throw the top up, but it's not hardly seen any wear and tear. So I'm not just gonna get rid of it. I'm not gonna throw it away. I'll maybe throw it up in the rafters or something, just to save it in case I feel like putting it back in at a later time. But for now, we're gonna pull it out. If you take a look at what the soft top consists of, it's this like leather piece, but then all of the components that are inside are all metal. It's really hard to kind of see that, but all that components in there that like the scissors together, it's all metal. So I'm gonna throw a guess out there for how much it weighs. Drop a comment down below how much you think this weighs. I'm gonna throw a guess, it's almost about 60 pounds. But 60 pounds in a small car like a Miata is quite a bit of weight. If you can take it off, take it off. That's 60 pounds. It's gonna help tire wear, it's gonna help you stop faster, it's gonna assist in the car handling altogether. Then there's not just this extra weight sitting over the trunk. So what we gotta do to get this thing out of here, there is a nut right here that we're gonna have to take off. And then there's a bolt down underneath this piece of plastic. So I have to take this metal bracket off as well. There's a 10mm bolt right here and a Phillips screwdriver. And I believe there's just a couple of pins or something right here that we have to take off. And this plastic piece comes out and we have access to this bolt in the back. We have to do that on both sides, remove that stuff so then the metal portion of the soft top can come out. There is a bunch of 10mm bolts or nuts all the way across underneath the top canvas portion that we have to take out to release the canvas window and the top around the outside hoop right here. So we're gonna do that real quick. I'll get this stuff off, kind of time lapse a little bit of that, try and get the tripod nice and close so you can see what I'm doing. And we'll try and get this all zipped out of here in no time. I can't wait until I get a shop of my own so I can get a good heater in here. All I got to keep my hands warm right now is this little guy. It's really chilly out here. All right, what I'm gonna do to maybe make this so you can see it better, I'm just gonna try and rip this window out, maybe. Cause it's, well, that was interesting. You would think this would just tear, but it just like exploded. Now that we got that all broke out of the way, so we're not gonna get hurt and cut on that, now we'll kind of climb into the front and try and get some of these nuts broke free. I could probably get these ones just standing from the outside of the car. Maybe I'll do that real quick, just to get them out of there. So this whole back side should be free now, along with the carpet, which we're gonna put those pieces back in to help hold this carpet in place. And it makes it look all nice and factory in here. I like the look of the carpet in the back. Otherwise, if you take the carpet out, it's just this big sheet of steel that covers up the top of the fuel tank. And it doesn't look as good. I like the look of the carpet, so we'll keep that in there for now. So now that this is all free, we can basically peel it all the way off around the sides. Let's not spill those nuts that are there. We don't want to ruin the rest of the canvas. Right around the window is no big deal. We can always put a new window in it if we need to. So then this nut, I didn't mention that a second ago, this is a 14 millimeter, and I believe it's a 14 millimeter on the inside of this plastic as well. So we just have a wrench for that. And then we got Phillips, and I just got to grab my 10, and we'll take this first portion of all the bolts out of here. Oh, there's two of them that are 12 millimeters in there, not just the one. Sitting there prying on it like I'm gonna get it out, but there was more down in there than I thought. There's a third 12 millimeter. All right, we got the first side broke loose. Now we're gonna hop over on the driver's side, do the same thing, break a couple bolts loose, then we can lift the whole soft top out of the car. Just to show you where I am with this, I'm pinched in between the seat to get these 12 millimeter bolts out of here. It's pretty snug, but it works. I switched my ratchet size 3 different times. Went from the electric to a 3/8, now to a 1/4 inch drive, 12 millimeter, just to get in here. But it is necessary. It's not too bad. Well, we got it all loosened up. Let's try and get this thing pulled out of here. I don't think anything else is underneath holding it. It's completely zipped out. I'll go to the other side and lift it out of here. I'll lift, tip it. That. Get the window zipped out of it, make it a little easier. That's maybe 50, 60 pounds, I think. We'll get it weighed. Back window out. I believe you can just purchase new ones of these. And it's just the window insert, and then that bolts in with that metal piece. And then there's Velcro that holds it, and then you zip across. So I'm not too worried about that. This doesn't weigh very much, so we'll still get a weight with the soft top as a unit. We should be able to get some really nice looking washers to be able to sandwich over that carpet to hold it down still so it doesn't just flop around. I do want to keep the carpet in here. It makes it look a lot nicer and cleaner. I set my light down here and try and show you there is a little bit of like sound deadener insulator stuff underneath that I could potentially pull out. Not a big deal, but otherwise it's just like it's metal back here, and I don't want to. It's like halfway crappy painted bluish black with some white. I don't want to just leave that open. I like having that carpet kind of covering and making that look a little bit nicer in the back, because it looks like that the whole way across. So plan is to just leave this in here. This doesn't weigh very much. That's not going to maybe make much of a difference. It's these soft top metal pieces and bracketry that makes it weigh so much. Let's go ahead, climb in the car. We'll get these visors out of here. They're just 2 Phillips screws that hold these in on each side, and then they should be able to come off fairly easy. Just like that. It does leave a little hole here from the insert of the visor, but that's not a big deal. I'd rather have that out of the way, and it just looks better. Reach through here and get the other side out as well. I think this one has been replaced before, because this looks like a regular like wood screw on this side. And it's like way longer than it needs to be. Yeah, this is just a wood screw on this side. That's weird. Screw number 2 on the passenger side. Pop that up. And there you have it. Now the task is to hold all of this stuff, the soft top, the steel brackets. There's also like this big piece of plastic that like was behind the carpet. We're gonna weigh that as well. So I gotta try and carry this while I stand on a scale here to get a total weight. I already weighed myself with all my gear on, so shoes, gloves, jacket, everything. 167 pounds, and then we're going to subtract my weight with all of this as well to get the total weight of all of the soft top with components and the visors included, because I don't think these are even going to weigh like 2 pounds. So we're just going to add it as a total and then see what it is. We're also going to record this on the whiteboard So I just put it down as soft top with visors. So I know that it's gonna be all the components, metal bracketry and all that included. And then we'll do that with some of the other stuff that we end up pulling out of the car as well, just so at the end of all of the weight reduction, we can kind of see what actually came out of the car. With all the steel that's potentially coming out of the trunk lid and the hood up front, I'm gonna guess there's at least 150 pounds that I can pull out of the car. 150 pounds in a Miata is gonna be a lot of weight pulled off, especially since I added in the roll bar. That's a lot of steel that goes on. So if we can just kind of flip-flop the weight there, that's gonna not only help our tire consumption, it's gonna help fuel consumption, it's gonna help all the suspension components, drivetrain, all of that operate better and operate for a longer period of time. And it's gonna be just overall faster and quicker. It's gonna be all around better for the vehicle. All right, it changed weight just a little bit. Instead of 167, it says 168. I don't think I gained a pound walking down the stairs. If anything, you'd think you'd lose a little bit. But anyways, we're gonna grab all this stuff and try not to drop it. This isn't like a glass house scale, so I don't wanna break this. It's not super expensive, but at the same time, I don't wanna break it. So we're gonna try and cradle this in our arms as best we can without dropping it. Boy. This almost feels a little more than 60 pounds. I could be wrong, but it's not super light. It's cold too, and the screen took a second. But 210. 42 pounds. Not as much as I thought. It's just awkward trying to cradle that in your arms, and it's just floppy and weird feeling. So 42 pounds, not bad, but 42 pounds is 42 pounds. The more we can get off the car, the faster it's gonna be and the better it's gonna perform. So we'll scribble on 42 pounds total. We got that on the board. Now we'll continue with the rest of this stuff. We're gonna run into town and grab some washers so we can get the nuts and washers holding the carpet down. And then that should be about all we're gonna do with the soft top today. So yeah, I'll be right back. We'll get that all screwed down and call it a day. We're in the hardware section. We're just gonna look for some flat washers, nothing crazy, just something cheap so that we can use a flat washer here. That's all bolts. M6. That might work. All right, so I got 11 M6 flat washers. They're like 30 cents a piece. Otherwise, they typically just do like by the weight. That's usually pretty cheap. This will only be a couple dollars. So, also picked up some boot laces because mine in my work boots are shot. I'm gonna avoid the tool section. Otherwise, I end up spending too much time, and I have time, but I don't need to go look at tools. I feel too tempted to buy tools if I do that. All right, we're back. Let's get these washers in the car. Carpet all bolted down. The hardware is now installed. The washers and the nuts to hold the carpet in place. Just so it's not just random bolts sticking out. There's actually something, it's actually doing something for the car. These pieces are back on. This is now open. I might come in here at a later date and clean all this up. Maybe try and spray it black so it blends in a little better. Because if you can kind of tell, I don't know if this car has been resprayed in the past, but this is like a navy blue underneath. I don't think I've ever seen a navy blue Miata before. There's like the baby blue or the sky blue all over the place. But like a navy blue like this, I don't know. I've almost thought that it's been resprayed because this bumper is different, or like It's black underneath, and then some of the scuffs where the paint is almost looks like it's been resprayed, or like in here, you can kind of tell it's been scratched and then kind of sprayed over. So I don't know, maybe the car has been painted in the past and I just don't really know. I don't know enough about like bodywork and paint to know if something's been resprayed. This is the only car I've ever seen with this pinstripe as well. And I've thought about taking the pinstripe off, but it's grown on me and I just don't take it off. It looks pretty good with the car. It makes the car what it is. There's all kinds of stuff on this car that I can take off to try and strip some extra weight, and then we'll keep that on the running total board as well. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.